Check out some of these boards we have here. They're all electric. They all go nice and fast. And we did a video comparing a bunch of electric vehicles and boards a while back, but we're gonna do a part 2 where everything's under $1,000 bucks. We have a couple boards. We have this one-wheel pint. We have a electric bicycle. We have a off-road longboard. This is gonna be cool. So let's take a look. This came in the mail today and we're gonna go and surprise Steve with it. Last time we did a whole video comparing electric scooters and one wheels and boosted boards, and he really loved the boosted board, but he kept saying like, man, wouldn't it be so cool if this thing could go off-road, like if it had big tires? And boom! I like how you're just leaving your helmet on through all this.
Well, we were leaving. And then you're like, I have to record.
I mean, that's vlog life for you. Everything takes about 3 times longer to do if you're trying to vlog it at the same time. Look at how nice this bike is though. You look like such a badass. And then you have this little Pusheen thing hanging off your keys.
Did you put a ribbon on it?
Yeah, Carrie put that on there. Nice touch, huh?
Dope. I might finally see Steve smile.
I know, right? Guess we got you a little something. Let's go.
That's suspicious.
Oh, no way. No way. You were hoping that I would fall, huh? So you could have footage for this video.
Yeah, hopefully you break a bone so I get another good thumbnail. Whoa,
yeah,
okay, it is on. Woo! The brake's a little sensitive?
Yeah. Like I barely touched the brake and it sent me off. The carving is super nice. Oh, that's just on medium.
So now you're on medium?
Yeah. Whoa, that's a lot of torque. I can't even lean forward fast enough. I'm actually kind of afraid to put it on high.
This is the GTS and its top speed is 25 miles per hour.
That's way too fast. Yeah, a helmet, I should probably go get that right away. The braking, super sensitive. Right here is where you show the B-roll of me getting thrown off the front of the board, and I barely touched it.
It also comes with regular tires if you want to swap that out. How do the big tires feel?
It's a little bit different because you feel further up off the ground than like the boosted board.
This remote does feel a little bit cheaper. It doesn't feel as solid as like the boosted board ones.
Agreed, yeah.
But this is also a fraction of the cost. So the range is 12 to 21 miles with the extended battery range, and it gets up to 25 miles per hour. I imagine that speed changes depending on what kind of wheels you put on it though, right? Whoa, yeah. Braking, you definitely have to practice with this thing. As you pull it back, it doesn't gradually slow down. It doesn't really do anything and then it goes goonk. That's probably one of the downsides of getting a more budget-friendly board like this. What was your first impressions?
And the brake is pretty scary.
Yeah. Are you starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with the brake or not really?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting better for sure. It takes such a subtle touch.
All right, so that is one thing that makes that really cool is that when you're just on an off-road spot, you could just rip it. You were going pretty quick through the grass. Like I wouldn't do that with the one wheel, and the boosted board just couldn't do it at all. Overall, the Iku board, it's fun and it's exciting. It's guaranteed to give you an adrenaline rush, but my biggest concern was how sensitive the brakes are. You can kind of adjust the different levels of sensitivity, but even on the least sensitive setting, it still brakes really hard. Maybe they'll fix this in a future firmware update, and if they do, I'll put it in the description below, because for this price point, it is a lot of fun. But we got a bunch of other boards to check out, so let's go. So you like the boosted board, right?
Yeah.
But the one wheel, you could do hands-free, so you like that, right?
Yeah.
We do have some for you in the truck.
What the f? I mean, what?
Oh man, what?
Whoa.
Check that out.
Is this hands-free?
Supposedly. So apparently there's pressure sensors on it.
That's, dude, oh my God, I might cry.
We could Photoshop in some
Or you could try
tears.
it and
Oh, dude, it's like tiny.
Just to clarify, just like Steve, I didn't pay for this, okay? I would never buy you stuff with my own money.
Up and away.
You have to, like,
To infinity and beyond.
So apparently that battery is supposed to be easy to swap. Yeah, there you go, nice. All right, well, I guess we'll charge the battery and test it out.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow, this thing's got some power, so don't do what Sam did. This might be the best board to shoot from, right? Because then you could stand still. That's the issue with the one wheel, is that if you're going really, really slow, unless you're really good, you're gonna be a little bit wobbly trying to balance on it. But this one, you could come to a complete stop, film, and then accelerate, hands-free. And then you have the remote like the boosted board, so you can zip around like that. But just in case you forget the remote, because I've done that a couple times with the boosted board, you can also use your phone app to control it too. So 3 ways to control it. That's pretty good.
I love the size of it. It's tiny enough that I could carry around and it's light, but it's also big enough that my actual both feet could fit on it. And that's really important to me because I have giant feet.
Act like you don't know you're gonna get it, okay? Make it look like a surprise. Carrie actually already knows that she's getting this pint, but we're gonna see her acting skills. I got something for you.
Oh! Oh my gosh, it's so cute! Oh.
Were you surprised?
Yes, I'm surprised.
Look at that acting! That was pretty good. That was some good acting. I never asked her to act, but that was pretty good. You actually seem like you...
I didn't know what color it was gonna be, so there's that. I've gotten really good at it because, you know, every time you come back from like a long trip or something, I gotta act like I'm happy to see you.
Wait, what do you...
Whoa! I do like that it's lightweight and easy to carry. Sometimes we don't take the one wheel somewhere because we're gonna have to like carry it. Like we won't take it to the movies because it's so heavy to kind of walk in with. I can like do these like super tight turns, whereas I can't do it as easily on that.
This handle on the side's really nice. I like that a lot. And it's very light. I mean, well, it's not that light.
In comparison?
In comparison, it's very light.
Where's your helmet, sir? And your elbow pads.
This feels good. It's very nimble.
The one thing that I really wanted was the fact that it was lighter to carry, to pick up.
Mark has another meepo? What?
Meepo board, yeah.
Okay, apparently there's an even cheaper version of the boosted board. Because the boosted board's what, 950 bucks or 999?
The Meepo comes in 2 models at $429 and $629.
This is the Boosted Mini X,
Yeah.
and this is the Meepo.
Yeah.
So they didn't even try to make it like their own. They're just like,
No,
let's
they-
just copy. Just copy paste.
Yeah,
There you go.
although this is faster, goes for longer, and is less than half the price.
So motors in the wheel opposed to...
These are hub motors,
Okay.
and those are belt driven.
Got it. It's a little bit bulkier down here, huh? But you got bigger tires, at least stock?
Yeah, these are stock. This is like the best value I think you can get. Because I rode with Boosted Mini X riders. We started at the same place, we went the same distance. They ran out of juice. I still had 30%, and I was going faster than them. They couldn't catch me.
Wait, so
And this is the cheap model.
this one's $429 and you're saying it's better than the Boosted Mini X?
Better than the expensive Boosted, yes.
There's always downsides though.
The
There's gotta be a
downside is that if this breaks, you don't know what to do with it. If that breaks, you just mail it in and you get a new one. But if this breaks, I could buy another one and still be under the cost.
Right,
So-
I guess that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
with warranty and everything, you can kind of see how it's kind of bolted on and stuff.
Yeah.
So it seems a little bit more like garage factory opposed to just like super streamlined. Zoop. Like look at that design. This looks
Yes.
like a belly of a shark. Hey,
Hey, hold on, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hands
So
down,
that's
hold on,
the
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, this looks like a taser.
Yeah, that's
look at
what
this
I'm
thing.
saying, like-
Oh, but it comes with a little flashlight. Oh, this thing is quiet. I mean, compared to the boosted board, this thing is super silent.
Because the internal hub motors and it's easy to kick push, when I run out of juice on the Meepo, I just become a regular old skateboarder.
There's very little drag. The boosted board definitely feels quite a bit heavier. Do you know if the Meepo has regenerative braking though?
Yes, it actually, the Meepo does have regenerative braking.
I mean, now that you have the Meepo board, would you ever consider buying the boosted? Is there a purpose for the boosted board anymore?
I wouldn't rule a boosted out. I guess it's kind of like the BMW of skateboards, I guess, and maybe I got like the Dodge Charger or something. Like you said, there's refinements on the boosted that if you want to go for that, it may be worth that extra price to people.
Yeah, because the boosted board just seems like it's a little bit more flushed out. It's probably a little bit more
Polished,
refined and
yeah.
polished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So you kind of get that name brand behind it. But the Meepo seems like actually a pretty legit board. Like feeling wise, it feels pretty solid. Huh?
Very legit.
So you have a full review on this?
I do.
Okay, so click right there. We're gonna go find it if you want to see the full review on that. That might be the best value board of this whole thing. We're checking out a bunch of things under $1,000.
I would say that it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting for a one-wheel knockoff, but no one can pull that one off.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I saw one on eBay that was a one-wheel knockoff.
It's probably garbage.
And it's, yeah, probably. I would not trust it.
But this isn't garbage.
Yeah, and bigger tires. I'm all for bigger tires.
The bigger the boat, the smoother the ride.
Now, speaking of big tires, look at the tires on this thing. Oh my God. Now, this is cool. This is from a company called Electric. It's the XP. Now, if you're looking for something just to get you from point A to point B, this is a hot ticket right here. You know, of course, the downsides are that it's not nearly as portable. It still folds up and can fit into a trunk, which is nice, but I think it's like 59 pounds or something like that. So you're not gonna be just carrying it around like one of the other boards. And I do like that it's a hybrid, so you can pedal it just like a normal bicycle, or you can use the throttle like a motorcycle, or you can do pedal assist where you pedal and then the motor kicks in to just help you speed up. But when you do that, it kicks on and it's fun.
Holy crap! That is really cool. You can feel it, like a little bit of a jolt.
I wasn't expecting that much torque out of it. You know, like he said, it's just pedal assist, so I thought, okay, I just keep pedaling, and then all of a sudden it was like, ugh.
In the pedal assist mode, it maxes out at 28 miles per hour. And out of all the vehicles, that's the only thing I feel comfortable going top speed at. Like the one wheel pint, I'd never hit that top speed. And same with the boosted board. If you're going top speed on it, you're not gonna feel super comfortable. And if you fall, you're gonna eat it pretty hard. Currently priced at $999. This is a pretty awesome solution if portability isn't that much of a concern for you. So I think out of everything that we took a look at today, it probably takes the win for best form of transportation. It's very convenient. You have 25 to 50 miles of range, which is nuts. But since we're talking about boards under $1,000, which one is the best value? I gotta say that meepo board. I was actually impressed at how good it felt to ride it. It actually didn't feel like a cheap knockoff version, and actually I would totally get one. $429 for something like that, you just can't beat that. Now, my personal favorite for the bunch is probably that one wheel pint. It's just so much fun to ride and it just feels so good. It lacks in terms of top speed at 60 miles per hour and the range and all that, so it's not really practical, but when it comes to just ride quality, it just feels so good. Like the amount you lean is how fast you go, so you have very good control over how much you accelerate and you're turning. It is probably the trickiest one out of the bunch to learn how to ride, but it's really not terrible. If you've ridden a skateboard before, you could probably get on it and start cruising around within the first 10-15 minutes. And it's also a plus that it's completely hands-free, so a lot of times I'll be holding a camera with both hands and I could ride around like that. And also with that wheel being so big, you don't have to worry about little cracks and bumps on the street. And when it comes to convenience and portability, that Walnut Spectra X is probably gotta be the winner because it's so portable. Now, it does have a small battery, so the range isn't that good, but that's the beauty of these swappable batteries. It only takes a second to swap those batteries. And if you know you're just going down the street and back, you're good. And if you plan on going further distances, you can just pack an extra battery. Realistically, most of my rides are probably like a mile or two away from my house. So if I'm gonna go to the grocery store or something, I could just take that. And it's not weird kind of carrying around a little board around the store. And I think the 3 ride modes are convenient. Of course, you use the remote like you would a boosted board, and that's how I think it rides the best. You have the most control. It goes nice and fast. But of course, if you misplaced it or forgot it, you have the option to control it through your phone or just through the sensors by leaning back and forth, kind of like the one wheel. But that's one thing I think that they could use a little bit of improvement on is those sensors on the board. And it works okay, but you can't really, you know, accelerate really fast like you can with the one wheel. And you kind of really have to lean into it to get to a nice fast speed. So I think they do that for safety reasons. They don't want to make it so if you lean a little bit, it just takes off. But it is worth noting that the Spectra X is a pre-release version, so pretty good chance that the production version might have some improvements there. And finally, the biggest adrenaline rush, that Yiku off-road board, which is fun because it's powerful, it's fast, it's got big tires, you go off-road with it. But as of right now, I just can't recommend it because the brakes are just so touchy. Steve's been riding it for the last 2 months and he says he is getting used to it somewhat, but still, after riding all the other boards, they all have nice feeling brakes, and having good brakes is a safety concern. So because of that, I can't really recommend the Yiku until until they address that issue. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful, and let's wrap this up by reading a few comments from my last video. And also, you have to say goodbye to my Jeep. I'm selling it tomorrow. Sean says, I'm sure that Gene is gonna start labeling random items in the house now. Oh, I already have. If you missed the last episode, I was just kind of showing off this cool new contraption. Only $9 or something. Link in description. No, this isn't sponsored or anything. I just think it's really cool. Imagine if I was sponsored by a label maker who's a Dymo. Please sponsor me. Check that out. It says potato was here. I'm selling her to CarMax, so I wonder who the next person that's gonna get it is. I stuck it underneath the car. Just label everything the wrong name to throw people off. That's not a bad idea. C-A-T. Good kitty. The voiceover seems legit and professional. Thanks for sharing. Man, I love that voiceover. If you haven't heard it yet, here it is.
Thanks for watching Potato Jet. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, click on the affiliate links, buy merch, tell your friends to tell their friends, and then get a tattoo of Potato Jet's face.